the driveway at the hospital, blocking charter buses carrying replacement travel nurses. Among those arrested include recently elected State House Representative Kim Koko Iwamoto. Now today is the 10th day of the nurses' lockout. Casey Lund was there as HPD put those community members in handcuffs and removed them from the property.
To show you the moment that the first person blocking this driveway was in handcuffs, arrested by HPD. Earlier this morning, when this group gathered here, they were warned by police over loudspeaker that they would be subject to arrest, that they were unlawfully occupying this space, and you can see them being taken away. HPD brought several extra vehicles here to accommodate all those folks, to get them transported safely, and they're serious about staying here. They said that they weren't going to move. They would have to be forcefully removed. And it's been a very tense morning down here. We also know that Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Children also released a statement shortly after this group was on the premises here. And that statement reads, in part, that while they respect the right for peaceful protesting, but any demonstration cannot negatively impact patient care, access to our medical center must remain open for our community. We will rely on the Honolulu Police Department to take action, and you can see the action they're taking. Tense situation here, the civil disobedience display. Again, you see Kim Koko Iwamoto, other well-known community activists, and a nurse union representative, putting those folks in handcuffs and in awaiting vehicles. Definitely some very emotional people here today, and this morning they blocked the entryway here for two charter buses that were full of temporary nurses. We do know that delayed those nurses from accessing the hospital and going to work. You can hear very loud and very active here.
Thank you, nurses. Thank you for standing up for Hawaii's women and children. Thank you for standing up for our quality of care, the care we deserve.
We know that the hospital management, as well as the Nurses Association, are set to meet today at 10 a.m. this morning. We had heard from the hospital that they were encouraged by the recent talks and the progress that was made, but we'll see how this situation affects things. We have yet to see a resolution with their contract negotiation. The main concern for the Nurses Association, according to them, is safe staffing levels here. They say that it's not necessarily all about money, but staffing. So we'll have to wait and see what develops out of those latest rounds of negotiation. Reporting at Kapiolani Medical Center for Women and Children, I'm Casey Lund, Hawaii News Now.
Today, a federal judge in Florida ordered the suspect in an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump be held in custody until his trial. Ryan Wesley Ruth was arrested earlier this month after he fled Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. In a new Justice Department court filing, the FBI said a fingerprint found on a piece of tape attached to the rifle recovered from the golf course preliminarily matches Ruth. In Ruth's vehicle, authorities say they found a list of dates and venues where the former president had appeared or was expected to appear, and a cell phone that showed searches of how to get from West Palm Beach to Mexico. The acting Secret Service director praised the agent, who he says foiled the suspect's plan.
He identified a threat, an individual with a long gun, and he made swift decisions and took a swift action to be able to mitigate that. No shot was fired at the former president.
Ruth is currently facing 2 federal firearms offenses, but prosecutors indicated they will ask a grand jury to seek a charge of attempted assassination of a political figure. Meanwhile, the Trump and Harris campaigns are leaning into foreign policy as they continue to push in battleground states. Skylar Henry has more on their message to voters, as well as the results from the latest CBS News poll.
Former President Donald Trump visited a farm just south of Pittsburgh to talk about competition from China.
China is supposed to buy $50 billion worth of our product, and they are not living up to it.
Vice President Kamala Harris was also focused on foreign relations, meeting with the president of the United Arab Emirates at the White House Monday. She scheduled a campaign in Pittsburgh Wednesday, underscoring the importance of the Keystone State in this year's election. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows the race a dead heat in Pennsylvania. The Trump campaign is also making a push in North Carolina. The former president rallied there Saturday, and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, has 2 stops in the Tar Heel State Monday. The state's governor's race was thrown into chaos when a CNN report linked the Republican candidate, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, to inflammatory comments made on a porn site more than a decade ago. Sunday night, most of Robinson's senior staff resigned.
A lot of talented people right now are reaching out to us, and we're right in the process right now of forming a team that we know can still lead us to victory. So we have full confidence in our ability to keep going.
Robinson was not at Trump's weekend rally and is not expected at Vance's events. The CBS News Battleground Tracker shows Harris has opened up a slight lead within the margin of error in North Carolina. The poll was conducted before the revelations about Robinson. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Missing OCCC work furlough inmate Bobby M. Cotton is back in custody after sheriff's deputies arrested him at the Queens Medical Center on Saturday. Authorities were notified after the 51-year-old failed to return to OCCC from his job-seeking pass by 5 p.m. on Thursday. Cotton sought medical care at Queens and someone recognized him. He was returned to custody at OCCC just before 2:30 Saturday afternoon. Cotton is serving time for second-degree robbery. He may now face an additional second-degree escape charge. We have an update today on that missing visitor on Kauai. Police tell us that Sarah Zaremba has been found. She was located last night and is in good health. The 37-year-old visitor from Washington was last seen in Kilauea on Saturday morning. Honolulu police say a group of 8 teenagers ranging from 14 to 18 years old reported being robbed at gunpoint Saturday night in Waikiki. A group of 6 men are reported to be the suspects. Police say they had a gun, demanded property from the victims, and made off with one of their vehicles. It was later found in Kalihi and has been returned to the owner. No arrests have been made. Hundreds of people from all over Oahu and the state gathered for the first public memorial service of one of the victims of the Waianae Valley mass shooting. Eddie Dowd takes us there.
This celebration of life here at Diamond Head Memorial Park was really a testament to just how many lives Courtney Raymond Arakaki touched. Her ohana tells me that even loved ones from all 3 victims in the Waianae Valley shooting were here to show their support and help with the healing process. One by one, Courtney's mother Charmaine stood strong, greeting and comforting the more than 600 people who showed up to pay their respects.
We've got from the west side, we've got from Kuli'o'o, Pro City, all areas from the Big Island we have family in, some from the mainland.
Courtney was one of 3 victims in the Waianae Valley shooting on September 1st. She leaves behind her longtime partner Wyman. Although she did not have any biological children, her family says she was an auntie to many.
She's always holding a baby, she's always with kids, and she loved all of them like her own, and she was one of the best aunties out there.
Every time we go family party, but she always smiling. She loved everybody, guarantee everybody.
On Sunday, with standing room only, those kids and their families showed up.
We have family here, friends here. Some we don't know each other, but we know that we're somehow connected, and it was through her.
Her mom and I are, good friends and classmates from Kalani, and in fact, I went to her first birthday party, at their house. Just devastating, happened to her. We're losing good people.
Her ohana opened her celebration of life to the media to share Courtney's light with a community still grieving from tragedy.
I hope that something positive comes out of this. We don't want any more negatives. We don't need any more negatives. This was a negative, and I hope only positive things come out from it. Whether it be the families healing together, we hope that that can be done, you know. Best case scenario, everybody can heal together.
Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
43-year-old Jess Lee of Maui is set to appear in federal court today. He's the second suspect arrested in connection for those improvised explosive devices found on the Valley Isle. According to police, Lee's fingerprints were found on an exploded IED in Kula in early August. Lee has a criminal history that includes convictions for assault and terroristic threatening. He was arrested for possessing explosives as a felon and for damaging property with explosives. Last month, authorities arrested 47-year-old Robert Dumoron of Kahului after one IED detonated and damaged an SUV. Also on Maui, Baldwin High School students and staff will notice a larger police presence on and around campus today. Police are investigating some sort of apparent threat made against the school. We are waiting to learn more details, but the public is asked to report any suspicious activity or information to Maui police. In Japan, at least 6 people have died after severe flooding. This comes just 9 months after the Ishikawa prefecture was hit by a powerful earthquake. According to officials, 2 of the 6 deaths occurred near a tunnel that was under repair following the New Year's Day earthquake. 10 people are still reported missing in what Japan's weather agency says is the heaviest rainfall ever to hit the area. There's now a hefty reward after a mass shooting Saturday night in Birmingham, Alabama, and no suspects under arrest. 4 people were killed and 17 others were hurt. Christian Benavides has the latest from Birmingham.
I can't feel my leg, and I just fall to the ground.
24-year-old Gabriel Islami described what happened after he was shot while waiting in line to enter a hookah lounge Saturday, intending on celebrating a high school reunion with friends. More than 20 people were shot, but Islami will recover.
I am beyond blessed, because even the doctor told me the bullet was millimeters away from my artery.
Crime Stoppers and the FBI are offering a joint $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a suspect.
Our federal partners have been a tremendous help so far in working through a lot of the information and evidence that we have recovered.
Police say they do believe the shooting was a targeted hit against one of those killed by multiple gunmen, though the exact motive remains unclear.
This mass shooting has a heavy toll on community as a whole.
Birmingham police say they're increasingly seeing disagreements that end in violence.
The first thing people go to when they're upset is the handgun, and that is a culture.
Investigators are still combing through surveillance video as they try to unravel what led to the shooting and who's responsible. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Birmingham, Alabama.
14 more suspended school bus routes were restored today. They served 10 schools in central Oahu, East Hawaii, and upcountry Maui. We're told this will help over 250 students. For a list, head to our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. Nearly 150 routes were suspended in early August due to a lack of bus drivers, and 42 are still not running. Who will be UH's next president? Here's your chance to meet the 2 candidates. Wendy Hensel is the Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost for the City University of New York, and Julian Vasquez-Helig serves as Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs for Western Michigan University. There will be open houses and public forums across the state starting next week. The first one for Hensel is on Maui on Monday at 8 a.m. at UH Maui College. Vasquez-Helig's events are the following week. For a full list of the schedule, just head to our website. Federal health officials are warning that a drop in vaccinations in the U.S. may lead to an increase in pediatric flu deaths. Jared Hill has more.
Ready? Amanda Roost loves a good fall day at the park with her kids, but she says preparing for flu season is serious business.
We're traveling, we're going to be exposing them to all different kinds of people in different scenarios. We are subjecting them to that. I feel like we're kind of responsible for getting them covered.
Federal health officials are getting the word out that flu vaccination can be life-saving for children, and now is the time to do it. The CDC reported nearly 200 children died from the flu last season. Most were eligible for the flu vaccine, but did not receive one.
I think, unfortunately, coming out of the COVID pandemic, we have seen a rise in vaccine skepticism, people less willing to get vaccinated. And as we've seen with the pediatric flu vaccines, that has led to increased hospitalizations as well as, unfortunately, some deaths.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends everyone 6 months and older get the annual flu vaccine. But the uptake was down last year. Just 54% of kids got vaccinated.
Sometime, say before Thanksgiving, say mid-November, you want to get your flu shot, your COVID shot. But that said, whenever you can get it done, you should get it done, even if it's a bit earlier than that.
Children under 5 are at high risk for flu complications, as well as older adults, pregnant women, people with underlying conditions like asthma, diabetes, and heart disease, and the immunocompromised.
My kids who can sustain it can contribute more to keeping the flu at bay.
They're protecting themselves and their community. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The new COVID variant XEC is on the rise just ahead of the fall and winter when many respiratory viruses circulate. So to get ready, the U.S. government is making more at-home COVID-19 tests available for free. Each household will be able to order a new round of 4 free at-home test kits. The new test kits will be available by the end of the month. For more information and to order, go to covidtest.gov. Officials report more than 900 million test kits have been delivered through the program. All right, let's take a live look outside. You're looking at Kilauea volcano, where the eruption has ended. The volcano alert level and aviation color code was lowered from watch orange to advisory yellow. Now we're going to have more news and a look at your weather coming up after this quick break.
How's it on this Monday? We've got some stormy disturbance up to the north of us. Because of that, there's some moisture swirling around the state. So don't be surprised if you get caught in a spotty downpour today, but widespread heavy rain not expected. We're still expecting a fair bit of sunshine. And also, because the winds will run on the slow side today, we'll have afternoon cloud buildups. We'll have slightly higher humidity levels. And those afternoon cloud buildups, they might spawn a few spotty downpours, especially around the mountains and the interior spots. So basically, it looks like a light wind weather pattern today with fairly dry conditions early in the day, except for a few stray windward showers. Now, as far as surf, it's going to be getting bigger today for north and south shores. We were expecting some swells to hit late in the day, getting even bigger by tomorrow. But those swells will be below advisory levels. So we've got light winds today, some spotty showers, maybe some spotty downpours. Much more settled weather tomorrow with a few windward and Mocha showers as those trade winds pick up. And those trade winds will run pretty breezy all the way through Friday, although over the weekend, light winds might make it a little bit more sticky.
A significant number of former NFL players believe they have CTE. Nearly 2,000 former NFL players participated in a Harvard University questionnaire on perceived CTE symptoms. More than a third self-reported that they believe they have CTE. The disease, which is associated with repeated hits to the head, can currently only be diagnosed after death with an autopsy. The study participants who played professional football between 1960 and 2020 described having cognitive difficulties, headaches, low testosterone, and other symptoms stemming from their days on the field. Study author Dr. Rachel Grasho says while CTE can't be treated, doctors can help with many of the symptoms.
We can't go back and change the fact that they had head injury, and we can't know if they actually have it. There's actually so much that we can do that we learned from this study, such as, can we go after their low testosterone, their depression? Can we go after sleep apnea? And all these things that are actually impacting their cognitive function now that we can do something about.
Symptoms of CTE include cognitive impairment, behavioral changes, mood disorders, and reduced motor function. In the group of players who think they have CTE, a quarter said they have frequent suicidal thoughts. This season, the NFL began allowing players to wear Guardian caps, which have extra padding meant to reduce helmet-on-helmet impact. Welcome back, Tracy Dyson. The NASA astronaut left the International Space Station this morning and arrived back on Earth several hours later. Leah Mishkin has more.
Some hugs goodbye, a wave, and off they went.
Pre-undocking checks were completed.
3 crew members, including NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson, undocked from the International Space Station Monday morning to head back to Earth.
During my previous missions, we were assembling the space station.
Flight engineer Dyson spent about 6 months aboard the ISS. According to NASA, her mission spanned 2,944 orbits of the Earth, a 78 million mile journey.
To come here and do science.
Also on board the Soyuz capsule, Russian cosmonauts Nikolai Chub and Oleg Kononenko, who both completed the longest continuous stay at the orbiting lab, 374 days.
There is the jettisoning of the heat shield right on time.
According to NASA, Kononenko completed his 5th flight into space, clocking an all-time record of 1,111 days in orbit. And touchdown. The Soyuz landed on the steppe of Kazakhstan.
A textbook touchdown on the steppe of
The crew was helped off the spacecraft one by one and welcomed back to Earth. Leah Mishkin, CBS News, London.
As the nation wrestles with the complex issue of immigration, a surprising shop in New York is focused on the needs of migrant families who recently arrived. Bradley Blackburn shows us how they're offering kindness with no price tag.
The streets of New York are filled with thousands of shops, but the little shop of kindness is something unique, where everything is free, most importantly, a warm welcome.
When they come into the shop, we greet them, we offer them coffee and snacks, and we guide them through the shop with a personal shopper who will treat them as a valued customer.
Ilse Thielman founded the Little Shop of Kindness 2 years ago, when buses arrived in New York filled with migrants making headlines across the country. And while others saw the complex politics, she saw people in need.
It doesn't matter to me whether people think they should be here or should not be here. They're here. They need this help, and we're going to provide it.
The nonprofit shop is open only to those who've arrived within the last 18 months. It's staffed by volunteers and filled with donations.
We have shoes, toys, toiletries, diapers for the babies.
Even surprising things like costume jewelry and cell phone cases for people from all over the world who've left everything behind.
Not only do we want to give them the necessities, we also want to give them a sense of dignity and respect and normalcy.
Since the shop opened its doors, volunteers estimate they've served more than 17,000 people, and the need isn't going away.
2 años.
Sonia Erauhu and her 2-year-old daughter Marlita recently arrived from Ecuador. She told us here they give you things from their heart.
De corazón, o sea, no te...
Unlike other places, you're not a project, you're a human being. A shop ready to help with life's needs and reminding that everyone needs kindness. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Thank you so much for watching This Is Now. We're going to have more news on air and online. And don't forget the latest headlines coming up on First at 4.